So as a survivor of sexual abuse, do you ever find yourself beating up on yourself for bad decisions that you made, maybe while you're trying to work through some of the issues or while you're actually in survival mode? Well, I know I have, and I know many of us have. I remember I was working with one client, and so one of his issues was in order for him to try and work through or deal with the sexual abuse, he became very sexual promiscuous. And so his phrase was, he's like, man, I would sleep with anything that actually moved because it was my coping skill. It was my dysfunctional coping skill. Now, as I was working with him, this was actually becoming a problem because it was actually hindering his problem. He was having a hard time trying to let go of all those things that he had done. And he could see, the faces of, of the people that he had slept with and how he had mistreated them. And so at one point during the coaching, I just stopped to him and I said, yo, bro, this is what you need to do. You got to stop apologizing for bad strategizing. What that simply means is this: when we're in survival mode, there are many things that we would not even fathom or think of doing that we actually do. And that's because the pain oftentimes becomes so unbearable that our brain is just looking for any type of solution just to relieve the pain, just for a moment. For some people, it's drugs. For some people, it's alcohol. For him, it was sexual promiscuity. But the problem is then when we start healing, we start ruminating and holding on to those bad decisions and the dysfunctional behavior. Instead of realizing that, I was hurting, my brain didn't know what else to do. And so that's what it did. Those were the bad decisions that were made. Now it doesn't mitigate and say that they're not right, but what it does acknowledge is that you are in survival mode, and that is a reality. We can't get rid of those bad decisions and experiences. They're a part of us. They're part of our narrative. But if we continue to allow them to identify us, we'll never fully and completely heal. So here we are, April. And of course, this is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So I just want to share that little tip with you. Maybe you are healing. Maybe you're having a hard time. Maybe you're beating yourself up for some of those bad decisions. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say the same thing I said to him that I'm going to say to you. Stop apologizing for bad strategizing, because that's the brain. That's the mode that it was in. But see, here's the cool thing. So what I did, I had him to write down all the dysfunctional behaviors and things that he was just holding on to, remorseful for. And I said, we're going to have a party now. We're going to celebrate. And he looked at me kind of strange. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we're going to celebrate. Because all these things that are on your list, it was your brain's way of coping, keeping you alive, surviving till we got to this point now where we can actually start helping you to heal. See, that's a different way of reframing and actually thinking about the dysfunctional behavior. Your brain is doing whatever it needs to survive. But during that time, that was a good thing because you're still here now. And because you are here, we can move forward and start working on healthy, functional behavior. All right, that's kind of your tip for today here from Safe Place for Male Survivors, where we release the past, embrace the future, and get love and connection.